Fig Tree newspaper is celebrating 30 years of sharing stories about people who put their faith into action.
The Fig Tree offers a sense of what is possible and what actually is being done to make a difference.
Christian, Jewish, Buddhist, Muslim, and other faiths are covered in the Fig Tree, thanks to the efforts of many staff, volunteers, and the editor, Mary Stamp.
Well, the Fig Tree basically covers stories of people who are acting on their faith and values, acting to make a difference in the community, in the society, in the world. And so we just talk with different people and never run out of stories. I have a long list of stories. But I would say the Fig Tree is really a lot is really the people that we interview.
Mary graduated from the University of Oregon School of Journalism in 1967. Soon after, she entered a graduate program in Switzerland with the World Council of Churches. Mary was among 60 people from 40 countries.
People from Czechoslovakia, people who had come from the Soviet Union, which it was then. Across the hall from me, a Methodist from South Africa was memorizing Martin Luther King's speeches. It was the only way he could take them home.
Mary learned how cultural values affect journalism. She returned to the U.S., working in Oregon and California as a freelance newspaper writer.
There was really more of a trendy journalism kind of mode at that time, so I was uncomfortable with doing that. So I started a publication called Interchurch with the ecumenical agency there, the Fresno Metro Ministries.
Interchurch dealt with spiritual topics and was a forerunner of the Fig Tree.
Then I was in Tico for about 7 years, and the editor of the Standard Register said, well, you can write freelance, but we can't pay you unless you sell ads. And so I started selling ads and realized that that was about relationship building. Found some interesting stories that way too, but covered a lot about the history and life of agriculture in the Palouse. Fascinating, you know. So I did that 7 years.
In 1983, the Spokane Christian Coalition invited Mary to begin a newspaper similar to Interchurch.
Hey, we don't have any money, but you can come and you can start this venture. And so I trusted things would work out. And soon after I got here, started recruiting people. And the first person I recruited was Sister Bernadine Casey, who was interested in going into radio work. But she thought, well, I could do print journalism as well. And she had a strong ecumenical commitment and grown up in Seattle as one of the few Catholic families in an area that was quite diverse with Protestant, Jewish, and different racial backgrounds. So she had, you know, she knew living in peace with people who were different.
The two journalists got right to work on the fledgling Fig Tree. Sister Bernadine continued to work right up to the time of her death in 2007.
So she had her pen and some of the pages, and she was a marvelous witness of someone who was living right until she died. She said, I don't feel like I'm dying. And she didn't seem like she was.
In 2001, the Fig Tree became a standalone, nonprofit publication. This way it could provide a unique, independent voice, covering stories from all major faiths in the inland Northwest.
It's the full range of Christian churches, evangelical, Pentecostal, Orthodox, Catholic. We cover the Latter-day Saints, we cover the Seventh-day Adventists, then we cover Jewish, Islam, and Hindu, Buddhist, Baha'i. That's just a few. And we cover basically east of the Cascades, central eastern Washington, and North Idaho. So just telling stories about what people are doing.
With this candle, we memorialize all those murdered by the Nazis in the ghettos, in the death camps, in the slave labor camps, and on the death marches.
Sometimes when you've got a mix of the person's background, where do you put that in? Where's the appropriate point? Is the most important thing the person? Is the most important thing what the person is doing? Well, this is my passion. I'm committed to this kind of understanding, building relationships among different congregations and different faiths so that people respect each other. In our masthead, we have the fig tree logo, and that was chosen based on the scripture in Micah 4:4 that everyone should live under their own vine and fig tree in peace and unafraid. So it's trying to help build that kind of sense of community.
If you have an idea for Northwest Profiles, send it to KSPS TV, 3911 South Regal, Spokane, Washington 99223. Northwest Profiles is a presentation of KSPS Public Television.